What's up, everybody? My name is Jodabeni, and I'm an electrical engineer, and I currently serve in the United States Army as a second lieutenant. And I'm part of the Army National Guard, as you guys can see. I've been in the Army for about 1 year, and this video is tailored to those who are maybe interested in joining the Army National Guard. And let's say you have your bachelor's already, or maybe you're finishing your bachelor's and you want to go to the Army as an officer. So this will be sort of my way of being transparent to you all on how much I make in the National Guard. Mind you, this video isn't intended to serve as a recruiting video or anything like that. I'm not a recruiter, and don't expect to be inspired to go to basic training in January after finish watching this video. I'm just showing you how joining the National Guard benefited me as an officer. So let's get straight into it. So whenever it comes to the Army National Guard, they're actually a website that shows you how much you can get paid. When you first join and you go to basic training, you're gonna go in as an E4. And an E4, it counts as an enlisted. Because once you go to basic training, you still have to complete OCS, because there's a lot of people who still get kicked out of OCS and they stay on the enlisted side. So let's say you go to the basic training, you graduate, you go to OCS, you graduate, and you commission like I did, and you'll select the officer, right? So you press continue, and then you're gonna be a second lieutenant, 01. How many years of service? For me, it's 1 year, so you'll get to see how much I make 1 year, and you press continue. And here's gonna show you that, hey, for every weekend drill that you go once a month, you're gonna get paid $510.16 for this weekend drill. And in total for the year, you should be expecting $7,524.86. But this total right here is excluding basic training. It's excluding any other skills related training like Ranger School, Airborne School. All those things are outside of this calculation. So this is only for those specified IDT monthly trainings. So you're gonna have your once a month for the whole year, and then during the summer you're gonna go for that 1 week, that 2 week period during the summer. That's gonna get you your annual active training pay. And I believe that's what it has it right here. That's highlighted. So the website gives you this information, but now you pretty much want to find out what is the reality. So I also have my leaves and earnings statements that you guys can see. Let's look at the first one. All right, so this first one is a basic pay. If you pay attention to it, I'm entitled to $510. Let me go ahead and zoom in. I'm entitled to $510. Very close to what it says here. 510.16 cents is exactly what I'm getting. But I'm getting my income tax taxed, my state income tax, because this is still part of Maryland. And my TSP contribution is pretty much the Army's version of the 401k. So although this is gonna be extra funds that I'm making every month, I wanna make sure some of that is going to some type of retirement as well, because this payment that I'm getting is not coming from my company. I'm using the Army's contribution, 401k, to put my money in. And then you have your life insurance. I don't have any kids. I'm not married, so I didn't think to put $500,000, because who am I gonna leave it to? My take-home pay for this 2-day weekend drill is $332. So that's my net income for that month if there's only 2 days. But mind you, whenever you're going to your monthly drills, sometimes it's a 3-day drill, and I have that amount as well, which it won't show it on here. So let me open it. So for 3 days, this is what you'll be looking at. You'll be looking at $765.24 as your pay amount. And this pay amount, after taxes and deductions, is going to be a total of $545.30. So you go to your regular job Monday through Friday for the whole month, and then you spend 1 weekend drilling, right? And you know, it takes you might drive an hour. Some people live in the same city might have to drive 20 minutes, but you drove for 1 weekend of the month, and at the end of the month, you're gonna get an additional $545 that you didn't have. There's not a lot of side hustles that you can do on a weekend that will give you $545 for just 1 weekend. So I enjoy that. So you take it as you will. Now that you've seen this, right? You've seen that, hey, some month I'll make $510, some months I'll make $765, right? Annual total is $7,000. So technically speaking, if you're making $50,000 this year, once you add your Army pay, you're gonna be walking around with around $57,000 for the year. Now is the biggest question. Is this the only thing that I'm benefiting from in this monetary payment? I would say no, because the biggest part that comes out of this is the discounts that gets applied to the rest of your life for being part of the Army. I created an Excel sheet that pretty much breaks this down, right? So if you pay attention to this Excel sheet, this is all my expenses for the month that I would have been paying, and this is what I pay now. So before I joined the Army, my car insurance with Geico was $300. After with USAA, it's $150. AT&T phone bill went from $113.73 to $73. My home internet from $81 to $62. And all this, these three come from my Amex Platinum card, right? Because of my Amex Platinum card, I don't have to pay $15. I get $15 every month with Uber Eats. I don't have to pay that anymore. I get $18 to spend on Hulu, so I don't have to spend anything on Hulu anymore. I also get $12.95 to get Walmart Plus, so I don't have to spend anything. And being part of the Army or any of the military forces in the United States, you are allowed to have TSA pre-check for free, while a civilian has to pay around $77 for the month. It's like a monthly fee of $77 to have TSA pre-check, but we don't have to pay for it. And so if I were to pay for all these upfront clean, I'd have to spend an additional $618 a month. But with a military discount, I'm only spending $286 a month. So my profit region in this area is around $331. So that's per month. Now, how about for the year? This semester, I just completed my first semester of Masters in Artificial Intelligence. And it costs, my tuition was 100% free. So I had to pay some, fees, school fees, but tuition-wise, the Army covered 100% of it. So I would have had to spend $5,000 out of my own paychecks, but I paid zero, right? Although I'm an electrical engineer, a lot of people will say, hey, because you make more money, it makes it easier to you to afford school. That is true. I could still afford that without the Army's help, but God blessed me with the opportunity to join the Army. Now I don't have to pay for my tuition, and I'm about to get my master's degree next year, all paid off by the Army. My car insurance, in total, it would have costed me $3,600 for the year. I only paid $1,800. My cell phone would have cost me $1,300. I only paid $885. My AT&T home phone would have been $966. I only paid $750. The Amex Platinum card, a yearly membership fee is $600. That's why a majority of people don't have it. But as part of the United States military, my fee gets waived, and I don't have to pay anything, right? So $0 there. In total, adding up all the $15 for the whole year, that's $180 of Uber Eats that I get to use for free. I paid $0, and so on, right? At the end of the day, if I wanted to pay all of this out of my own pocket, I would be spending $13,000 out of my own hard-earned money into all those things. But because I'm part of the Army, I only get to pay $3,000, right? So now you're starting to see the biggest difference. I profited over $9,700. So now we apply my Army discount and I will apply my Army paycheck and then the total profit from my discounts, which brings in a total of $17,306.86. This is if you count what I'm saving as profit, because otherwise I would have been spending it. So this is how much I'm pretty much grossing from being in the Army National Guard. Now, if you compare it with your salaries, right? So you're National Guard, so you're a part-time soldier, you go once a month. If you're making $50,000 in your civilian job and you apply all these discounts and your Army paycheck, you're gonna be technically making $67,000 per year. Vice versa, 60, you'll be making 77,000. 70,000, you'd be making 87,000. And if you make 80 grand, you'll be right there at the $100,000 mark. So this is the perspective I see things. Because sometimes people will ask me, hey, how much does the Army pay you for being in the National Guard? And sometimes people will be like, is it worth it? That's for you to decide, honestly. It's been very worth it for me. I believe I've become a better man ever since I joined the Army. But monetary wise, if we stay focused on what this video is about, This is what I'm gaining being part of the Army, and I enjoy it. I love it. So I hope this clears out a lot of questions for those who are curious on how much I get paid as a second lieutenant in the United States Army. This pay and the pay gap just grows the longer you're in the Army. If you take a look at the pay calculator, right, it's $7,000, but let's reset it. Let's say you're already in the Army, or let's say a second lieutenant, I've been in the Army for 3 years. It jumps to my annual total to 9,000, right? And after, on your 4th year in the Army, you become an O2. So with 4 years of experience, this is what you're walking. And it just keeps climbing and climbing and climbing. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. This is how much I make as a second lieutenant in the United States Army. And this is all what I know. I know there's a lot more benefits and discounts in the world, but I just wanted to put some that are concrete, because a lot of restaurants I go to, they offer 10% discounts, and random places you go to, but I'm not gonna calculate all those because it's not guaranteed that I go to those same places every month, but this is the bills that I go to every month, and that's how much I save and how much I make. I hope this video blessed you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Jodabeni is out.